And now, coming to you live from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, it's the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal.
Hi, and welcome to the Sheena Metal Experience right here on Parapod TV. You can find us on the Roku channel and everywhere that podcasts are found. I'm your host, Sheena Metal. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an energetic healer. I'm an interfaith minister. I'm a 30-year talk radio host in Los Angeles and beyond. I'm a creative and a performing artist, and I come to you live from my home in Southern California every week. Every week on the show. This show is about everything. It can be about humanity. It can be about spirituality. It can be about creativity. It's always about passion. It's always about service. It's always about what are you doing to make the world a better place. And every week on the show, I feature people that I think are some of the loveliest and brightest and most beautiful hearts and minds and souls that I know in any of the communities that I work in. And we come together and we talk about what makes the world a better place and what can we each do in our little corner of the world to make it better for everyone and also better lives for ourselves. My guest today, I cannot believe I am saying, is making her debut on any of my shows, even though I swear I've known her for the better part of 30 years. She's a wonderfully talented musician and singer and performer and songwriter and a humanitarian and community builder. And if that's not all enough, she has now come together with my dear friend Valerie Milano, who's been here on the show many times, to put together a wonderful weekend that is just fantastic in Palm Springs for women. And we're going to talk all about that and more. Please welcome to the Sheena Metal Experience for the very first time, the wonderful Jennifer Corday. How are you, my friend?
What a lovely intro.
My pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Sheena. You're right. You're right. We go way back.
We go way back. I think almost 30 years.
I know. Oh my gosh, you're aging me.
Oh, and me. I'm sorry. I meant 3 years. Only 3 years ago when we were 22.
You know what? It's okay. It's funny. I mean, I didn't mean to talk about this right off the cuff, but I'm starting to feel, more comfortable in owning our age. And that's part of like talking about Desert Legends and creating a space in the community for us older lesbians.
Sure. I feel like, I know people are weird about their age, but first of all, you can't hide it anymore because it's everywhere. Just Google it and you'll find it. And also, I remember the days of radio when they used to make me pretend to be 5 years younger. So I had my 30th birthday party at the Laugh Factory, but it was really my 35th. But now people can find it out. And I feel like I'm proud that I made it, that I lived this many years and I'm here.
Right. I was that way too. We were, I was 29 and, you couldn't get a record deal, the industry can really be sexist and ageist, and it's a horrible thing, but I think it's changing. I think it is changing.
It is changing.
And people are just owning it. And when the labels, well, gosh, don't get me off, when the labels kind of collapsed and merged and we started to own our own rights to our music, I think it became more of a free for all where anyone could create a living and make a really substantial living marketing themselves. And they didn't have to be so fearful.
I agree. And I think this next generation coming up that knows no different. They just say, look, this is my music. This is how I produced it. This is how I identify sexually. This is how I identify as far as my gender. And if you don't, and my ethnicity, if you don't like it, then you'll have to like it. Too bad. But people will buy my music anyhow because of the internet. And I think that artists have actually changed the industry, which I think is so wonderful.
The power has shifted to the artist.
Yes,
exactly. I was watching the Grammys. Oh my gosh! Maybe you've already spoken this with your show, but we're coming hot off the Grammys, and look at all the 20-year-old artists there, and it was just. But I loved hearing them speak, and so free, and a Pink Pony Club, and talking about giving us health care, and there she was accepting a Grammy, telling the record labels, "You better take care of us." And I loved hearing that power shift, and especially seeing women do it, and young women too.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and hey, go Beyonce for her first Grammy finally album of the year. Who knew it would be a country? But good for her. But no, I'm loving that I didn't get signed. I was on the verge probably, and and those days I had meetings with Geffen, and it was just right on the fringe. And in hindsight, I've heard so many stories of people being signed and dropped and not owning their own material. And, Taylor Swift having to make the Taylor version of her songs, re-recording.
Right.
And
Yes. Good for her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm happy with the fact that we now know it's okay to be individuals and be who we are. And we when we were growing up, it was don't hide how you look. Don't tell anybody who you're dating. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. Nobody wants to know your opinion about anything. Don't talk about what charities you support. Now it's 100% different. These people come out and we know who they really are and what they're about. And I think loving somebody's music is one level, but when you realize that you also love their humanity, that becomes a whole nother level. And I think it's great. And I think it builds better fans. They always told us it would chase fans away, but I think it makes for more fans when people know authentically who you are.
Right. Well, that's an interesting point, though, Sheena, and tell me, like, I'm just throwing it back at you. Like, that's coming from, these people are on the Grammy, so they're in a position of power. Sure. So it's much easier to do from that spot, right? When you're, you're up and coming, you always have that, will I be booked at this? If I'm outspoken but my answer is wholeheartedly yes. I don't really want that gig if it's something that they're going to not want me to do, or if if I'm not with the same values, then I don't really want that gig. But it is hard when you're financially struggling and you
yes.
So, I don't know, where do you draw that line? I mean, I'd love to hear your take on that too, but yeah, hopefully you can just be completely authentic all the time. And I think there's enough opportunities that you don't have to worry about that, because if it shuts one door, I say to the artist, don't worry about it. There's going to be another one that's going to say, well, we want you because you said that.
Yeah. I think I went through, it was probably my mid 30s when I decided I've been playing this game for so long and I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to be who I am. Yeah. And honestly, every closet I stepped out of brought me a bigger following and made me more centered in who I was and made me a happier person. And so I just don't hide who I am. And if people don't get it or they don't understand things about me, then that's okay. Then they can find somebody that they resonate better with. But I think it was a lot of unlearning, right? I always say, because, I moved back down to my hometown. I live one town over from you in Huntington Beach. And I lived in Los Angeles for 30 years.
You're in a red zone in Huntington.
Yes.
I love Huntington. I have many friends, and no, we can get into politics on both sides. I'm just saying, sorry to interrupt you, but you're living in an area, because each city can kind of have its own. There's not necessarily red states anymore. It's
right.
zone.
Although we did go blue for Hillary, and I'm very proud of that. But also, I feel more like I was when I was a teenager now than I was all those years in my 20s and 30s that I was pretending to be somebody that I wasn't. And I think sometimes it's a lot of unlearning, right? We unlearn, and hopefully we get back to who we organically are. A lot of people sadly just keep piling up the masks and more masks and more masks. But I just felt like I was suffocating. I couldn't live like that. And I think that I know my viewers and my listeners when I do radio, my viewers when I'm here, they just want me to be honest about things I never thought I'd be honest about. But people, I think, want to see organically who you really are now. I think it's sort of the new face of humanity. People want to know what's going on in there.
I so relate to that. And you're so right. I think the world has changed too, though. We have, looking back at us, but like, for example, I had this dry erase board. I remember it was like gay gigs and straight gigs.
Right.
And venues. But
Right.
now I can't really name the venue. The venue is welcoming to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's what I love, is that the world has changed. It's not just us being afraid to say who we are, but I really think that now the clubs and the restaurants, they welcome me to perform because I'm playing great music and I'm bringing in a diverse crowd, maybe a majority of LGBTQ folks, but there's a huge contingent of straight, gay, and everyone, and we're just enjoying the music. And the club wants to book you, and it's not a gay club and it's not a straight club. It's just a club.
Yeah, I love it. And I've always said that. I think you, like me, right? You came out very early. I did. I came out when I was 18. So I was out very early. And I remember the 80s when everybody hit anything, and the 90s when we sort of hit everything. I think that I've always said that there was the decade of acceptance. We were very much fighting to be accepted. And then I hope that the time after that was going to be sort of who cares? Like, everybody just comes and everybody is their own thing and everybody is with everybody and nobody makes a big deal out of anything. And I think that's where we're moving into now. And I think that's really beautiful because, honestly, who cares? Like, I have all different kinds of friends and of all different walks of life. And I love them all for who they are. And I don't think like, I'm going to go to a club. Which friend should I invite based on who they are? I don't think like that. So I love, and I like this about you too, that you're very much into inclusion of everyone. And I think that's so important.
Thank you so much. Yes. I guess that's the only way I've known how to be. I mean, I definitely have the lesbian niche following.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that, the labels actually in the music industry, I think now it's seen as a bonus.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a straight white man musician, it's like, we don't where are your people when you know what the niche is, whatever it could be, hip hop or any niche is good because you just know where your people are and you can advertise to those kind of corporate sponsors with whatever it is, drinks, lifestyle. So the fact that you have a niche following, and then you combine on top of that everybody else, because of course everyone's always welcome. But yeah, I always have that lesbian core following, which I love. And, it's probably the 40 plus lesbians that have been friends of mine for a long time. But I hope they're sticking with me and growing. I'm really excited about some things. I'll be playing in Greece at the Women's International Music Festival there at the island of Lesbos.
Nice.
Getting to go.
Yeah. How fun is that going to be? Are
you
gonna wear your toga and run wild? Will there be toga time?
Hey, anything goes. I've been, Jody Potiker. I need to give her a little plug. Is she does lesbian getaways.com, and she organizes like a little travel group and brings a group of women. If you want to sign up, check it out, to go to Greece. And then they're going to bring that group over to the festival, and I'll be performing on one of those nights. So that'll be cool. It'll be my first time experiencing, Athens. And I love mythology. I kind of go back. I've taught English. I have my teaching credential. I taught high school for a bit before going full-time rock star. And I was full-time teacher at Paramount High School, and then a substitute teacher. And so I taught mythology, and that's going to be especially fun for me to go to Greece.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to go to Greece. I'm not one of those people that wants to go everywhere, but that is a place I definitely want to go. Yeah. I'm not like a travel person that wants to see everything, but there's a handful of places I really want to go. And that is.
Oh, I'm so with you. Everyone thinks you're such a wild, crazy rock star, but no, I'm a Cancer. I'm a kind of a homebody. I don't, any flight over, a certain amount of hours, I can't stand it. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I kind of want to just do US stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm just always so happy to have a day off because I almost never do. And I feel like we live in a beach paradise. I don't need to go anywhere. I'll just go somewhere, get some steamed clams 10 minutes from the house and go home. Like, that's a vacation for me.
I know. Sorry, dog bark there. Time is just so valuable. It's my new, it's the most valuable thing. So it's just so precious.
So when you do something like you're spending a lot of time now in Palm Springs because of the Desert Legends weekend, so it's not just the weekend for you, you're there for many different weekends and weeks and months leading up to it, planning it. Is it vacation for you in addition to work? I mean, when you get, because when I go somewhere and I'm working, I consider it's work and it's a vacation.
Right. Isn't that nice? I always try to frame it that way to my girlfriend. Like, oh, look, it's not a work trip. We're going to have, extra time. It is crazy busy right now. I'm so glad this is good timing to be on the show because we're just 2 months out, less than 2 months out.
So exciting.
Exactly. Desert Legends is happening April 4, 5, 6. So actually on the 3rd, if you want to come in a little bit early, and the 7th, if you want to stay on Monday, we got some special treats for the shoulder dates that I'll talk about. But yeah, it is busy. This morning, I just drove straight out from Orange County, went to the Chamber of Commerce meeting, had some more meetings. Lisa, my partner Lisa, is golfing, but she calls that work. That's supposedly work. But no, it is work because our golf tournament is going to be at Indian Canyon's South Course, which is beautiful. It's designed by Amy Alcott, and it's an award-winning course. It's just gorgeous. So we really upped the game this year. It's the first time we'll be on that course. So sign up if you're a golfer. That's going to be on Friday, the 4th, and then there'll be a luncheon that follows. So yeah, now I'd love to tell you a little bit more about at the weekend. Is this a good time to jump in?
Yeah, I'd like to know, before you do that, I'd like to know a little bit about the beginnings of it and how it happened and how it wound up in Palm Springs and how it wound up on the dates it did and sort of what happened when you and Valerie kind of came together and put this together.
Absolutely. It's kind of a cool story because, I think all of us can relate, or hopefully all of your listeners out there know about the Dinah Shore weekend. It's kind of a rite of passage. Like we all would go out. We heard about this weekend. Okay. And what is it? Now there's still a lot of confusion as I'm educating people on our weekend of what it is. It started with the golf tournament, the LPGA, the pro golfers had the golf tournament out here. The first weekend of April was always kind of like the lesbian spring break. First weekend of April was always the time. And lesbians started to kind of, because a lot of lesbians golf, I guess, would go out and watch the golf tournament at Mission Hills, and they would gather on like hole 17, but they were in the closet in those days. So
yes, right.
Yeah.
They have their polo shirts on and their Dockers.
Looking at each other like, so one of the first parties thrown was by our friend Kathy Miller in the 80s. She just erected like a big tent, and then the girls would kind of gather, but they would be kind of closeted. And even some of the pro golfers were closeted. But she kind of started this thing. It kind of grew and grew. Promoters got word of, hey, this is a beautiful town. It's a beautiful time of year. A lot of lesbians are going out for the golf, so let's start some parties. And the parties ensued, and we had two, big promoters, Sandy and Robin, who run Girl Bar.
Yeah.
Out of Los Angeles, and Mariah Hansen, who runs Club Skirts out of San Francisco.
Yep.
And both started these parties, and they worked together for many years, and then they split. There was some animosity there, but they decided to Girl Bar kind of left the scene, and Mariah stayed and has been here ever since, creating amazing parties called The Dinah. So if you go to thedinah.com, it's still here. But she moved it to September.
Right.
In 2023. And right then I just, realized we were coming out of COVID. I think she moved it due to COVID. You'd have to
I think she moved it due to COVID too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I said, oh, she's not going to be there in April. We're also used to going out here in April. And then simultaneously, the pro golfers, the LPGA left Mission Hills and Palm Springs, moved to another state. I think it was Texas. I don't know if they're still there.
Right.
So here was this void, and we just jumped on it. We didn't have a lot of time to do the first one there. That was in 2023. So we said, yeah, let's create a party. We're all going to still go out in April because we're used to going out in April. We don't want it to be gone. So the first cocktail party was here at Valerie's house, which you can see is a beautiful, amazing,
beautiful
estate here in old Las Palmas. And we pulled it off. We were really and just hundreds of women came out. It was small, but it was packed. It was so full here. We needed to bring in more outhouses, and we realized, hey, there's a need for this. And there's so many women that are 40 plus have retired. They moved out here to the desert. And even if you don't live in the desert, there's so many women that live here in the desert. We could probably just have a successful event just based on that. But there's so many women from LA, San Diego, just locally that love to drive into the desert to enjoy that time of year in spring. It's just gorgeous. Golf courses are beautiful. This year we're going to play pickleball, pool parties. And so anyway, that's how it was all born. Again, the Dinah is in September, 6 months later. So, and we are still keeping the April date like it has been since the 70s, and that old tradition. We're now called Desert Legends because, we're old. We're legends.
We're legends because we're still here. That we got grandfathered into legendary by just still being here.
Oh, that's a good time.
Long enough, you become a legend. Surprise! Congratulations.
Yes, and that's a good point to just say we almost called it, because if you say it fast, it says Dinosaur Weekend.
Right.
Dinosaur Weekend. It sounds like Dinosaur Weekend.
Yeah,
Dinosaur
that's fantastic.
Weekend. All right.
Right. Bring your hot Stegosaurus date.
So
the first year it was just the one party, and then last year it was 3 days of events, right? It was.
Well, no, we jumped right into it. The first year we did the cocktail party at Valerie's. Concert was at Cascade Lounge.
Okay.
I came from it as a performer. So going back a little bit about my history, I came out to go to the Dinah when I was younger, and then I performed. Actually, I was hired by Girl Bar, performing at the actual Dinosaur Weekend that they put on, but then it just kind of became not my scene. I was just older. I don't know. There's just a different type of music. There's different kind of bikinis and body types going around, and you're not feeling like you're with your people. And so I started to still come out that time of year. And even though those parties were happening, I would just perform in town.
Right. I
would just say, Stunning, we can come see Corday at a local club. And so I've been performing out here in the desert since, for forever. Being born and raised in Long Beach and being a 2-hour drive, this is my vacation home. And so it's really near and dear to me. And I always love coming out here to perform. So I wanted to perform, and music has been at the, nucleus of this weekend for me to really make it kind of a music weekend. It's kind of like, Lilith Fair was to Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
As Legends is to me. But I of course, I want to bring in so many different acts. And I hope that I can have more and more budget, more and more sponsors. We can start to bring in and hire even more entertainers.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, and you are playing this year, right?
That's right. So I took the Friday night spot.
Okay.
And we're excited about that. Golf is on Friday day. And then after the golfers get back, we're all going to kind of get together at the Hotel Zoso lobby to watch the NCAA women's basketball. There's a lot of sporties that love our weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't play sports, but you like to watch sports, we love to support women in sports. So we're going to be watching the Final Four in the lobby on the TVs, having lots of fun and games and sponsors and giveaways. And then you head upstairs, and that will be the Corday show. I'll be doing a bunch of originals, really special show with video, and then transitioning into the 70s. I just love playing the 70s. I don't know. Maybe it's another life of mine, but I'll then be, playing some doobies and the Pinball Wizard, and it's
nice.
And all that
good stuff. Right.
Yeah,
all the Michael McDonald favorites.
And the Yacht Rock. Yes, I love.
And the Yacht Rock. Yes.
So, and then we'll have a 70s dance party. So that's Friday night. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. That's great. So you're playing all the 70s. So nobody can miss that, because that's the best decade ever for music.
I think so. I used to play a lot of the 80s, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and I still love, of course, all that. I don't know. I'm so all over the place musician, but 70s is my new fave. From the soft rock to the hard rock. It just I don't know. Cool. It's got the hippie spirit.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, whenever I get at least a new car, I get serious for a year. And I always have to let it go after a year because I'll never learn any new music. I'll just become that weird old lady that only listens to music from when she was 9 because I can't get off the 70s. So I know because I just think it was such a free decade for songwriters, and musicians were really given a chance. Like you get like a 4-record deal and you were given a chance to develop your sound and develop your hits, and the industry's never been like that since. So
yeah, and yacht rock is my, I have some side projects. It's called Yachty Girl and the Seaman, which is funny name.
It's amazing. You do it so well. You do the yacht rock so well. I know I told you this last time I talked to you, but it's my absolute favorite. And so I just watched the yacht rock documentary, and it's so good.
Yes, with Mike McDonald. So many great musicians. If you really look at the complexity of the songs, that's why not a lot of bands attempt the 70s. I think not to discount. Again, I love AC/DC and some of these 80s bands, but it's fairly straightforward chord wise, but when you're playing the 70s and there's even if you're doing Captain and Tennille and America, and they modulate, and they're doing just so many complex cool things, and the Michael McDonald songs, and there's so many great bands, Hall Notes and all that, or yacht rock set. That's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of instrumentation, keyboard, sax. So I really appreciate the musicality of it.
That's
and then
awesome.
the sing-along ability. And then we got the 70s rock. So I call it, yachtygirl.net is the yacht rock thing. And then I have themagic70s.com. And that will be more rock and roll, where we'll do, Zeppelin and The Who and Foreigner and all those great 70s rock bands. So, I think it has
just as good, just as amazing. So what are you doing Friday night at Hotel Zozo? Is that mostly like 70s pop or 70s yacht or yachty rock? Or
yeah, it's been tough to decide what to cram in there.
Right.
But what really has come forward has been, since I played in P-Town, was people's request for my originals, and I'm so glad you asked about that. And sometimes it takes a lot more courage to put that out there, because I feel like I want to play what people know. But I'm gonna stick to my first, the beginning of the show, so make sure you get there on time, is special presentation of my original songs, which I'm gonna do some storytelling and again some video projection, and you're gonna get to hear the original songs in a whole new way. But I really feel like that's been my goal here. One of my goals for 2025 is releasing my original music, and staying true, because you can get so busy playing cover songs you forget about that. So
you can get lost in that, and your originals fall by the wayside, and that's so important that doesn't happen.
Yes. So I'm just going to pick the best of, really have a kick-ass show, including a couple new songs, and then some favorites, including the title track to my last album. It's called "You Can't Change Her DNA." You got the girl you got. It's up to you. You can like her or not.
That's fantastic.
And so that's a great little song we're going to pull up. But then we will segue right into our fringe outfits and jumping into the 70s, and then we will transition into the 70s dance party. So Beautiful. You're in for a great night on Friday. Yeah.
Wonderful. And then what happens on Saturday? Is Saturday morning the pickleball happens?
That's right. So, you got to be well rested coming into this weekend. But we have kind of 2 tracks, we decided, because you got your sporties, and then there might be some people who aren't pickleball players. Okay. But yes, picklers, get ready, get up, and get out there, because this is going to be amazing. It's sponsored by Olivia. We're so glad to have Olivia travel.
Wow, that's wonderful.
On board, and they are actually have a trip that you're going to want to hear about to Ixtapa, which has a pickleball tournament going on while you're in Mexico at the resort. So,
okay.
Yeah, Olivia does some great pickleball vacations, but they're our title sponsor for the pickleball event. And so get on up there. The rest of you, and when the pickleballers are done, Or if you don't want to pickleball, we will be at the pool party at Hotel Zoso starting 11 a.m. So right out there, and that's going to be a blast. And this is where I want to give a shout out to our main title sponsor, and that is Vakaya Travel, also LGBTQ plus
beautiful
travel company. I love Vakaya. I've played on their cruises. They are all inclusive, and that's what I love when you're talking about inviting everyone, is that everyone is welcome here. And I just feel like the world is becoming more and more like that. It's gay men, women, bi, trans. You're going to feel safe. You're going to have a blast. You're going to have a good time. So Vakaya is our title sponsor. They'll be sponsoring the entire weekend. So they'll be heavily represented at the pool, doing giveaways. We're going to have a tattoo contest. We have poolside games, and we don't want women to be afraid to come to the pool party. You don't have to get in your bikini. You don't even have to get in the pool. There's going to be lots of fun. We got a live DJ and lots of stuff happening at the pool. And then all the pickleballers are going to come back, and we're all going to be at the pool for the big finale, which is the synchronized swim show. So,
okay. This is Saturday night, the synchronized swim show?
Yeah, well, actually, it's like Saturday afternoon. So,
okay.
As soon as pickleball's done, I think they'll be on at 3 or 4 p.m. The synchronized swim show. You don't want to miss it. It's kind of at the very end of the pool party. To lights, underwater speakers, and they'll be doing a show. These are amazing, Olympic level swimmers and some LGBT swimmers that are adorable. And it's called the Wet Swim Show. Check them out, wetswimshow.com. And we're so thrilled to have them. And then you quick, shower and grab dinner. And then we got the main event that evening back in the Fillmore room. And that's going to be a bunch of great acts. But our main act is called the Divas of Rock, featuring Liz Ann Warner and my friend Deshay. She's on bass, but they will be presenting an amazing multimedia show that presents the Divas of Rock: Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, Linda Ronstadt, Fleetwood Mac, and Heart, all in one night.
Wow.
Costume changes and everything, but we'll have some surprise guests there, so you don't want to miss that. That's Saturday night, and then when the concert's over, we will dance.
Nice. Okay. All right. And then what happens on Sunday?
Sunday morning, you can sleep in a little bit, but we've got a brunch for you. It's called it's a 50s and 60s Motown brunch. So we're calling it the Starlet Champagne Brunch because we have hired the Starlets. It's 3 women in costume dancing in unison, doing the best of the 50s and 60s in Motown. But you remember this era. It's a lot of fun. Like,
all the R&B girl bands and
That's right. And boots are made for walking, and the doo-wop stuff. So it's a really classy brunch.
And is that also at the hotel?
That's right. You don't have to leave. Come wake up in your room and come on downstairs. We'll be down right there in Hotel Zoso, and they'll be kind of a little more interactive. They'll be walking around your brunch and then doing the show at the same time. Motown brunch. So that's fun. We will then, if you do buy a brunch, you get free entry to the pool. That pool day won't be it'll just be more of a relaxed pool day, not as a big pool party, but we're definitely keeping it rolling on Sunday. And the NCAA championship game is on at noon that day in the lobby. So we will continue to watch the final game that day. And then finally, if we would love everyone to stay for Recovery Monday, and we're calling it. But
lots of tomato juice.
Yeah. You could, and this is just, we're not making anything off this. We loved it so much that we wanted to share how wonderful it was. The new spa in Palm Springs called Sekhi, the spa at Sekhi, SEC-HI. Which means, I believe, boiling water. But it's on Indian land, owned by the Agua Caliente. And if you read the history of it, the hot springs have been natural coming up there, and it's basically one of the top spas in the United States. Incredible. And so we reached out, and they did some negotiating, and we're so appreciative. They extended a 15% discount to all of the Desert Legends folks. So you need to call and book your own massage or whatever you want. you have to get something to come in, or you could just get a day pass, which I believe is like $100, $105 to use everything all day. And then you get to use our Desert Legends private room. We bought a private room.
Oh.
So you come on through. We have our own pool for just us. So yeah, check it all out at desertlegends.net. I know this has been a lot to follow, but
no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I have so many questions. Like, are people wearing clothes in the private Desert Legends spa room? Is it clothing optional? That's the first thing I think of. Like, I'm such a weird Aries. What's my problem? Because I'm envisioning like this, this like a Grecian Isle of Lesbos bathhouse thing.
I love you, Sheena. Well, why not? I don't think they have rules because it's our private one. Desert Legends bought it out. So therefore, I suppose that's at our let's take a vote, ladies, what do you think?
Are we taking our suits off or are we keeping our suits on?
It's fine with me. I say to each their own. Each person will get like a little bracelet when you come in. They give you a little essential oil to know that you're part of our group, and that means you can come through our room, and you can stay there in our room all day. But I think you should move about and experience all the different rooms. There's just like a salt room, there's the natural springs, there's the outdoor pool with a waterfall. So you should go and visit and then just come back to the room. So we will just kind of be hanging out there all day in our robes,
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Robes. Yes, we'll have clothes on and robes.
I like that. Naked with robes. That's
no
going to be.
No one's taking their robes off unless they want to.
Optional.
So we're not saying, we're not judging. We're leaving it up to you.
And then you know what? I'd also like to shout out to Tello Films, Tello, Tello Films. Love these girls, and they are going to be doing a little documentary on our entire weekend. We're so thrilled to have them. Yes, I'm sure you can opt in out or be a part of it, but they basically do a travel documentary, putting some lesbian vacations on the map. So, they've done travel documentaries on, Velvet Ibiza, some of these other destinations that lesbians want to do. And now Desert Legends is going to be one of those vacations that you're going to want to put on your calendar for every April. But they'll be there attending every event and kind of filming their experience. And then you can check it out when they release it, I imagine, shortly thereafter.
That's wonderful. And then you said something was happening. Maybe is it something happening that Thursday?
Oh, yeah. So Thursday, but please come on in early. What I love about Thursday, again, we're not making any thing off this. We just love to share the joy and the spirit of Palm Springs by inviting everyone to come in Thursday to enjoy the Village Fest. It's free, and the street just shuts down. It's kind of like Pride, but it's a lot of straight people.
Right.
And but we walk the streets. There's vendors, there's food trucks. It's amazing. And also the museum, the Palm Springs Museum of Art is pretty amazing.
Wonderful.
And it
it's wonderful.
Free only on Thursdays from 5 to 8. And so you have this little window. So we are having a soft, meet and greet, hotel, Zoso lobby. Get your wristband check-in early, and just come and have a cocktail. And that's also from 5 to 8. And then you can just shuttle on over. You can walk right out your door to the Village Fest and kind of enjoy the vendors. You can walk over to the museum, and then we're also going to be partnering with the little electric cart too, so you can get a ride if you need to. So that's
nice. Great for people that can't walk the whole street.
That's right. Sunny Cycles. Check her out. And you can pedal if you want to, but you don't have to pedal. You can just just sit on it.
Desert Legends, just sit on it.
Just you can just sit on the electric cart.
If you've got bad knees like me, or you're just too drunk to walk the street, you can just literally sit on it.
You can just sit on it. She'll give you a ride.
Because that's kind of part of, I hate to say this, I hate to make this not sexy for a minute, Corday.
No.
That's kind of the thing. If you're catering to 40 plus people, right?
Yes.
40 plus women, you got to think about the fact that some people's bodies break down. I mean, we're all in different stages of waiting for our next knee replacement or, rotator cuff surgery or whatever it is we're waiting on.
So true. And everyone is welcome. And we're so glad that this year hotels also, everything's in house. So you don't have to move about a lot,
right,
which we did last year, which was a lot of the, it was great success, but I think there was too many moving parts, and we love having this host hotel. We thank Hotel Zoso for having us, but there is an elevator there, and we are just, lobby to the room, to the pool, to the Fillmore room, and that's great. So the only things you need to leave are for, the golf and the pickleball, and bring your knee brace to pickleball. It's okay.
Exactly. Right. And bring your back brace or your little rascal scooter or whatever you got. Just bring it and go.
The new courses are amazing. I mean, Mission Hills, this is where the legendary Dinosaur Golf Tournament was at Mission Hills, and this is a country club. So very, very fancy, nice, beautiful courts, and so we're thrilled to be there. They have water. You just fill up your water bottle, so you're gonna feel super comfortable on those courts. And we have all levels. I want to say that, speaking of, like, if you're older or younger or more active, but Jenny Alexander is our pickleball tournament director. She is awesome, and she will answer all your questions if you have any questions. But 2.5s to 4.0, and apparently there's a lot of great pickleballers out here in the desert. I didn't know that, but she said there's like a lot of 4.0 to 4.9 pickler. Do you know about the rating, Sheena? Do you play?
I don't know. I don't play pickleball. I play watch pickleball.
Yeah.
It's a whole different sport. I work out my neck doing this.
Oh, it's fun to watch. And you can come to watch, girls. Come on in. It's it's super fun to watch, especially watching those experts. They're super fun to watch. But anyway, whatever your level, please sign up in the appropriate category. She has to do a lot of math and put everyone together. And she has a really fun thing called the ladder, live ball and ladder, which is really fun. You play a game. If you win, you stay on your court. If you lose, you go down.
Oh, you go down the ladder.
You go up and you move up and down the ladder. But
wonderful.
I love that. Because some people like fixed partners because they want to play with their girlfriend. I don't really like playing with my girlfriend because she's better than me.
Oh, yeah. We don't like that.
Right. So I like meeting new people and rotating partners. So you can sign up for fixed partners, rotating partners, or just the ladder. Check it out. Ask Jenny if you have any questions. If you don't want to play pickleball, come to the pool. We'll be there. Then we'll all converge. It's going to be a fun weekend. Lots of great friendships, I'm sure, will be made. That's what.
I made so many friends last year, and I mean friends that I've kept up with, and people that live in Palm Springs that I then saw when I came back to Palm Springs for Pride in October, November, and people that lived out here. I mean, I met a lot of friends last year. Oh, and I thought it was so fun. I love Dinah, but there was not an inclusivity to it. There was kind of an idea of like, hot chicks are here and everyone else can go to these 3 things, but it's mostly for hot chicks. Come look at the hot chicks. And like you said, they just kept getting younger every year. And that's great. But when I went to Desert Legends last year, I went to support you both because I love you both. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to be in a corner and there's going to be a bunch of like 20-year-old hot chicks. And I was like really surprised and amazed that it was women of all different ages and shapes and sizes, and everybody was so friendly. And by the time I went to the cocktail mixer Friday night, I was hooked. And I thought, this is such a lovely experience of everybody's here just to have a good time, and everybody's here just to build community. And people are not here to get in fights or backbite or be snippy or you're allowed to come or you're not allowed to come. And I thought it was so gorgeous. And so I'm 100% supporter, and I will come to everything this year. I will come on Thursday, and I will stay until probably 2 weeks later because that's me. I can't just come to Palm Springs for a couple of days.
I know. It's something about it. It's very hard to leave. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for saying that, Sheena. Yeah, and I never like to say anything, bad about the competition. And
not at all. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah, when you say Dinah, the Dinah is great for what it is. Exactly. And I'm sure, all ages are welcome there too. You just have to decide for yourself. And I try to tell people that. Go to both and see where you feel.
Go to both. I mean, you certainly can go to both. But I just think that this, and I'm not saying anything bad about the Dinah, I'm just saying something good about Desert Legends, that it's very much almost like a big friend weekend, like a family weekend.
Right.
Even though we don't all know each other, we're all functioning as a big family.
I thank you. That was so beautifully said. And, not to say, because people are asking about the singles component and coming to hook up, which you said, and I think that's certainly still, we're old, but we're not dead. And so, yeah, that still is existing. And we were, some people were asking about maybe adding some more little pull off events where it can be a mingle thing. But I think that just organically happens.
I do too.
And I think, if you just put your goal on friendships, you're going to find your new soulmate here too. But friendships for sure, golf, foursomes, and I think at this age, that is the most important thing in life is the friendships. And especially, like you said, as the politics gets crazy and people get more and more pulled apart, we need to all stick together. And I hope that there's not, competition within the lesbian market too, because I've seen that. But hopefully all the promoters just come and, and enjoy this weekend for what it is. Everyone has something different to offer. Yeah.
I'll tell you my Desert Legends story from last year. So I went to the cocktail mixer with my good friend from high school and her wife. And I knew a bunch of people, but I didn't know everybody, right? Because I'm sort of new to the Palm Springs crowd. I'm new to the Long Beach, Huntington Beach crowd. I've lived in LA for 30 years. So I went, and I was glad that I had Ida and her wife to sit with, because I've known her forever and I love her. And there were these 2 empty seats, and these 2 women came up and said, "Can we take these seats at your table?" And we said, "Absolutely," because, you got to sit. So we're sitting at the table, and you were up in front and you were emceeing, and there was a lovely guy that came from one of the organizations, and he had on a kind of like a robin's egg blue shirt that said Palm Springs and the established, whatever year, 1930. And I thought, oh my God, that is the coolest sweatshirt. And I'm obsessed, because I have a Huntington Beach shirt like that. And I collect shirts with the established date on them. And so I showed up to the brunch on Sunday, and those 2 ladies came and found me, and they had found that same sweatshirt and bought it for me and brought it to me.
That is so sweet.
That's the best story. I
wasn't sure it's that kind of thing.
Where's this story going? But they found me at Hunter's, and they brought me the sweatshirt. They just pulled it out of a bag, and they're like, "We're on our way home early, but we wanted to find you here and tell you that we went to all the stores and we found the shirt." Yeah,
I love that. I love that. And and you're right. It's that kind of place. I don't know. Someone said when you drive into Palm Springs and you see that mountain. Oh, here, I have to show you the mountain. You just get,
I love it.
Is it there? Yeah.
I always take a picture of it whenever I'm in Palm Springs.
You see it, and you're just kind of like, And
I think probably in the next couple of years, I'm going to wind up buying a house out there and being out there 3 or 4 months out of the year.
I know, but I think better than that is friends with houses.
Well, you can stay at my house when I have a house. I know you always have, Val's to stay at, but if ever Val is busy, you can come and stay at my place.
The more friends with houses, the better. No, of course, I would love to afford my own place out here too, and I would love to welcome everyone. It is that just kind of a spirit out here. So, yes, come one, come all.
It's fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, and I want you to come back with Valerie as we get closer. And you're welcome to come back anytime. Talk about music, talk about gigs. It's been far too long, and we have a lot of time to make up.
That is so true, Sheena. I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. Where can people find you? And where can they find out about Desert Legends? Give me all the links so my viewers have them.
Oh, yeah. Look at my pretty flyer. Let's see if it shows up here. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Woo. Okay. Oh, is it backwards? So desertlegends.net.
Beautiful. Okay. And you?
And I am Corday.net.
Oh, all right. You're working the .net.
We don't do the .com.
You're working the .net. All right. Good for you.
We like to catch them.
Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I will see you soon, and I will definitely see you in April at Desert Legends.
Rock and roll.
You too. Thank you. Thanks to my wonderful guest, Jennifer Corday. Thank you so much to everybody at Desert Legends. Can't wait to be a part of that in April. If you missed any of that information and you want to know more from me, SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. That's where you find me, SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. You can also email me there, text me. My number is there. My number 818-437-0886. Please stay in touch. I love that. And thank you so much to Parapod for hosting us and making us part of your television family. We are so thrilled. And to my engineer and producer, Emery, who is truly the wind beneath my wings. So for every person you ever see doing anything great, there's a beautiful Scorpio behind them running the show. So Emery is mine, and I thank you so much, my love. And if you want to find out, if you want to go to the show page, SheenaMetalExperience.com. Until I see you next time, seek peace, live in love, lead with kindness, embrace unity, always work to raise your vibration, and most importantly, know that you are love and you are loved. I'm Sheena Metal. This is the Sheena Metal Experience, and I'll see you next time on Parapod TV. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.